everyone, Danielle Emanuele and TNT Rinkside reporter Julie Stewart Binks here with you in Tampa as the Maple Leafs are coming off of a 5-2 win to pull ahead in this series 2-1. Julie, you've had a unique vantage point for this series. What's been your general sense so far and how focused the Maple Leafs have been?
It's really fascinating because it's become sort of this chess match of just special teams, special team series. And no matter what game it is, it always seems to just go back to penalty kill, power play, who's more effective when they aren't 5-on-5. And it's fascinating that we've had 3 games so far and just like barely any 5-on-5 play. But I love sort of the dynamic and different demeanors between John Cooper and Sheldon Keefe, especially when you watch them on the bench. They're completely different, but then off the ice, when we've seen them in press conferences, then they kind of flip the switch and they're a little bit, I'd say John Cooper's a bit more on the offensive, whereas Sheldon Keefe maybe a little bit more reserved. And I find the two of their dynamics interesting. And it does lead into the identity of the team sometimes and how they deal with certain situations. Because Tampa's like done everything. They've won 2 Stanley Cups back to back, and I feel as though they know that this is just like the first layer of a video game, and that they're not freaking out yet. Whereas this is the layer that the Leafs haven't been able to get past. So it's a completely different vibe around the teams.
Well, you brought up John Cooper speaking today, and he said, "We believe that we have the best goaltender in the world," and yet the Toronto Maple Leafs have put 13 goals past Andre Vasilevsky. In your mind, how have they made life difficult for him?
It's just they've put so much net front pressure on him. Watching that power play goal that Morgan Rielly scored in Game 3, it was like blood in the water, like sharks just circling. I remember watching it just like they were just pounding the pucks at Vasilevsky like we're going to get one past him. And I think it just feels as though it's that belief like we can beat you. That keeps carrying over because there is so much of a mindset idea when you are going up against a guy like Vasilevsky, not only who has like won every single thing in the world, but he's so huge. He is this guy that has stopped every single huge player in the world as well. So you think like that can kind of play into, can we beat him? And it's like once you get that one past him, you're like, all right, like we can do this. Like this guy is not immortal, he's real, and he is the best goaltender until he's not, right? Like John Cooper has all the confidence in the world, he has all the swagger in the world. He's gonna say his goaltender's the best until he's beaten, and so that's how I feel he's sort of playing his cards right now.
It has presented an interesting duel, especially for Jack Campbell, and I think to a certain extent it's brought out the best in Campbell. But on the flip side, Maple Leafs have limited Tampa to just 7 goals, and for the most part, keeping Nikita Kucherov and Steven Stamkos quiet. It has been a collective effort, but defensively, how have they been able to get the job done?
It's fascinating because you are sort of surprised seeing these guys not being able to get past Jack Campbell, and we saw that huge, I think will be a series saving save, really, was the Jack Campbell save on Steven Stamkos, which you just saw Stamkos looking up at the replay like, how did that happen? How did Jack Campbell save my shot? And I think that when you look at the fact that we are seeing the Leafs do a great job defensively as a core, but also Tampa's not really connecting maybe as much as they have in the past. They don't look necessarily as in sync or as much chemistry as we've seen in the past, and I don't know if that's a product of it just being a Game 3 or if it is something that maybe they are tired, like maybe they've been through so much in the past. So I think it's a lot of different elements at play. Again, we have to put the disclaimer that there's been so many special teams that it's hard to sort of have an accurate analysis of exactly what has worked out well because there's not that much flow.
Well, the Maple Leafs have an opportunity to push the Tampa Bay Lightning to the brink of elimination, but it has to be a business-like mentality. Game 4 going down Sunday, 7 p.m. puck drop. Make sure you keep it locked on all of our Maple Leafs social channels as we bring you the latest news and notes.